The Glock 19 glinted in the morning sun, aimed at my chest. Eleanor Prescott, the HOA president, had snapped, her fingers shaking on the trigger as she screamed, "I'll end you." All because I built a 7-foot fence on my own property. Then came the thunder of hooves, Titan, my 300-pound ram, charging like a freight train. What followed sparked headlines and exposed a scandal that rocked Montana to its core. 6 months ago, Noah Bennett traded Silicon Valley's grind for 50 acres of tranquility in Pine Hollow Estates. After a decade at a tech giant, untangling code and dodging corporate knives, I thought I'd found peace. But Pine Hollow's glossy name hid a truth. This wasn't freedom, it was a gilded cage ruled by an HOA drunk on control. I'm no rancher, but I sank $2 million, my life savings, into the spread, craving open skies and quiet nights. Instead, I landed in a feud with Eleanor, a 5 feet 4 inches autocrat in a crimson blazer, wielding her clipboard like a warlord's scepter. It began with the fence, $7,500 of premium cedar, crafted by Montana's best. I'm a tech guy, I don't skimp. I studied the HOA's rulebook like a codebase. Article 17, Section 4, perimeter fencing up to 8 feet. My fence was 7. Ironclad. Or so I thought. On day 3 of construction, Eleanor stormed my land, eyes blazing, accusing me of violating Regulation 127. I cited the 8-foot allowance. She smirked, tapping her polished nails. That's outdated. I'm revising it. Revising it? The rule wasn't voted on yet. I stood firm, quoting bylaws. Her face matched her blazer, and she snapped photos of my fence like a tabloid hound, muttering about standards. My ranch hand, Mateo Vargas, a diligent worker supporting his family in Mexico, warned, "Senor Noah, she's unhinged." She drove out the Gibsons over a mailbox shade. I laughed it off. Big mistake. That night, I dove into Pine Hollow's records. Eleanor had rewritten HOA rules 12 times in 5 years. 3 families fled after bizarre fines. The Harrisons 4 unapproved shrubs, the Taylors for holiday lights up 2 days late. Each vacant lot was bought by an LLC, Crest Peak Ventures. Coincidence? My tech instincts screamed no. By 3 a.m., I'd built a dossier thicker than a startup pitch, tracing links like debugging a server crash. Eleanor was playing dirty, and I was her target. The HOA's emergency meeting felt like a show trial. Eleanor, in a scarlet suit, lorded over a walnut table with her loyal board. I brought my lawyer, Claire Donovan, a property law ace. Eleanor's PowerPoint, a clip art nightmare, pitched cutting fence heights to 5 feet 4 inches for uniformity. Claire dismantled her, citing Montana law against retroactive rules. I stood, pulse racing, and exposed Eleanor's violations: her oversized gazebo, unapproved shed, non-compliant stone path, documented with satellite images. Gasps filled the room. Eleanor's face flashed red, white, purple. Neighbors piled on. Mr. Reynolds fined for a wrong shed color. Mrs. Baxter harassed over a birdhouse. The 8-foot rule vote passed 8-7. Eleanor's glare could have sparked a fire. As she stormed out, I overheard her on the phone. "The vote failed, but he's finished. He doesn't know what's coming." Next morning, my fence was defaced, red spray paint screaming, "Tear it down." Security footage caught Eleanor's black Lexus SUV cruising by at 3:17 a.m. Sheriff Ben Caldwell called it circumstantial, but Mateo and I scrubbed paint all day, seething. Eleanor's reign was infamous. She'd exiled the Fosters over their son's guitar practice, deemed noise pollution. Then came a soil inspection. 2 men, one Eleanor's nephew, cited me for livestock waste and slapped me with $2,000 fines. The paperwork was shoddy, letterhead pixelated like a rushed edit. I found surveyor stakes near my property line, predated weeks. Someone coveted my land. The breaking point hit when Titan, my Dorset ram, escaped chasing a fox. He trashed Eleanor's $50,000 rose garden, her pride and joy. By dawn, she was at my door, raging about Duchess Victoria, roses, and a ruined Venetian fountain. I offered to pay, but her itemized damages, complete with garden show awards, reeked of premeditation. I pushed back, mentioning the tampered gate and her nephew's fake inspection. Her eyes turned wild. "You're just like my kids," she hissed, "thinking you can defy me." Then she drew the Glock. Time froze. The gun shook as Eleanor ranted about order and her ex-husband Victor, a former senator. Mateo dialed 911. Neighbors stood stunned. Titan, grazing nearby, locked eyes on her. "Eleanor, put it down," Mr. Reynolds pleaded. She spun, gun waving, screaming about respect. I tried calming her. "I followed your rules." Her face twisted, and she fired. The bullet grazed my ear, the crack ringing. Then Titan charged. 300 pounds of woolly fury slammed into Eleanor, launching her skyward, blazer flapping like a villain's cape. She sailed 10 feet, eyes wide, hair unraveling, before crashing into my cattle trough. Water and algae erupted. She surfaced, drenched in slime, mascara streaking, as Mateo caught the spinning gun like a seasoned outfielder. Silence. Then Mr. Reynolds' laugh broke the spell, spreading like wildfire. Eleanor floundered, shrieking about lawsuits and ram assault. Sheriff Caldwell arrived, dashcam rolling. "Eleanor Prescott, you're under arrest. Assault, reckless endangerment, terroristic threats." Her protests about connections crumbled when Caldwell revealed her ex had flagged her banned firearms status. The aftermath was wild. My cameras caught a gray SUV owned by HOA Vice President Walter Klein parked during the showdown, its driver snapping photos, but not intervening. Headlines blared. HOA chief arrested after gun threat. Hero Ram saves neighbor. But the real story ran deeper. The FBI swooped in, led by Agent Maria Delgado. My dossier on Crest Peak Ventures cracked a conspiracy. Eleanor was a pawn for Stonefield Resources, a firm eyeing Pine Hollow's $200 million rare earth deposits. They'd harassed residents, crashed property values, and bought land cheap. Walter, a Stonefield board member, was her handler. Searches of Eleanor's home uncovered blackmail files, financial woes, affairs, medical records, even kids' social media posts. Her journals revealed a paranoid narcissist, haunted by her divorce and lost custody. They're all scheming, like Victor. Walter flipped, exposing Stonefield's schemes across 12 states. Eleanor's trial was a spectacle. She got 15 years for fraud, extortion, and assault. Walter got 8. Stonefield faced massive fines. Pine Hollow rebuilt. We dissolved the HOA, electing Mr. Reynolds president with transparent rules. Montana protected our land as a geological preserve. I launched Skyline Ranch, a therapy program for kids, with Titan as the gentle giant star. Mateo brought his family from Mexico. Sheriff Caldwell retired, volunteering at the ranch, spinning tales of Titan the Crime Stopper. At our first community festival, we unveiled a Lady Justice statue inscribed, "To a community that fought corruption. Justice sometimes wears wool." Hollywood pitched a movie. As kids crowned Titan with flowers, my phone buzzed with an anonymous text. "You think it's over? You've just started." I showed Agent Delgado. Stonefield's reach was long, but with my neighbors, I knew we'd face anything. In Montana, we don't back down. We protect our own, sometimes with a ram who negotiates with horns.